Kim Basinger's story is one of dazzling heights and shadowed depths. A journey from the shimmering spotlight of Hollywood's golden era to a quiet, almost invisible life shaped by fear, resilience, and reinvention. Once the embodiment of glamour and sensuality, she captivated audiences worldwide as a Bond girl, a sultry star in the provocative cult classic 9.5 Weeks, and an Oscar-winning actress. Yet today at 71, Kim lives far from the cameras and red carpets, retreating into solitude, sometimes locking herself away for months, gripped by an intense fear of crowds. How did a woman who once ruled the screen with such magnetic presence come to vanish from public view? The answer lies in a story far more complex and heartbreaking than any role she ever played. Born Camila Ann Basinger on December 8, 1953, in Athens, Georgia, Kim was the third of 5 children in a household that balanced artistic passion with everyday struggles. Her father, a former jazz musician turned loan manager, and her mother, a former model and dancer who had once performed in aquatic musicals reminiscent of Esther Williams, created a home filled with music and creativity. Yet despite this vibrant environment, Kim was painfully shy. She struggled with simple social interactions, ordering food, answering questions in class, and even fainted from the stress of public speaking. Her parents hoped dance classes would help her break free from her shell, but it wasn't until 1971, when she won the Athens Junior Miss pageant, that Kim first stood confidently before a crowd. That night, she realized she could face an audience without fear, a revelation that would quietly ignite her future. What many don't realize is that Kim's drive to act wasn't born from a desire for fame or glamour. It was deeply personal. She wanted to see the look in her father's eyes, the rare spark of emotion he showed when watching someone on screen. That longing to connect, to inspire belief, became her true motivation. Soon after, Kim signed with the prestigious Ford modeling agency, quickly rising to national campaigns and magazine covers. But modeling, despite its allure, felt suffocating. The constant scrutiny of her appearance left her feeling lost and disconnected. She craved something more authentic, something that would allow her to express the raw emotions she had long buried. Kim's transition to acting was deliberate and hard-earned. She studied at the William Esper Studio, where the focus was on digging deep into genuine feeling rather than surface-level performance. Starting with small television roles, she faced skepticism. Could a beautiful model truly be a serious actress? Determined to break free from typecasting, Kim took a bold step in 1981 by posing for Playboy. This wasn't a stunt to shock but a statement. She was claiming her right to be taken seriously in cinema. The move worked. Directors began to see her not just as a pretty face but as a daring artist willing to challenge expectations. Her breakthrough came in 1983 with Never Say Never Again, where she played Domino Pedici, a Bond girl opposite Sean Connery. The film's massive success catapulted her into global stardom, cementing her status as Hollywood's newest sex symbol. But Kim refused to be boxed in. She sought roles that tested her range and depth. In The Natural, 1984, she portrayed Memo Paris, a complex woman whose emotional volatility earned Kim a Golden Globe nomination and critical respect. Then came 9.5 Weeks in 1986, a film that would define her career and haunt her life. 9.5 Weeks was no typical erotic drama. It explored a dark, toxic relationship with unflinching honesty, depicting scenes of blindfolds, food play, and emotional manipulation without the usual Hollywood gloss. The film polarized audiences and critics alike, with many condemning it as a step backward for feminism. It faced censorship worldwide, flopped in the US, but found cult status in Europe, especially in France and Germany. For Kim, the film was a double-edged sword. It brought fame but also typecasting, limiting her opportunities for years. She later reflected, "I don't regret it, but I gave up something big because of that movie." 3 years later, Kim joined the blockbuster world with Tim Burton's Batman 1989, playing Vicky Vale alongside Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson. The film's $400 million haul made her a commercial star, recognized for more than just her looks. Yet her crowning achievement came in 1997 with LA Confidential. As Lynn Bracken, a high-class escort with a haunting past, Kim delivered a performance that was both subtle and unforgettable. The role earned her an Academy Award, a Golden Globe, and a SAG Award, solidifying her place among Hollywood's elite. Despite this success, Kim's personal life was fraught with turmoil. Diagnosed with agoraphobia in 1980 after a panic attack, she spent months confined to her home, shielded by her first husband, makeup artist Ron Snyder. Their marriage, once a sanctuary, fractured amid infidelity and ended in a costly divorce in 1989. Kim's relationships thereafter were intense and often brief, including a notable romance with Batman producer Jon Peters and a deeply emotional connection with music legend Prince. Yet it was her marriage to Alec Baldwin, whom she met in 1990, that seemed to promise stability. They married in 1993 and had a daughter, Ireland, in 1995. But the union was marred by Alec's volatile temper and Kim's ongoing struggles with anxiety. Their 2001 divorce sparked a bitter custody battle that dragged on for years, culminating in a scandalous leaked voicemail where Alec called Ireland a rude, thoughtless little pig. The public fallout was devastating, and Kim retreated further into isolation, describing the divorce as a nightmare that left her fearful of the outside world. What do you think drives someone like Kim Basinger to endure such public and private battles yet still find the strength to keep going? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'm curious to know what you think. Kim's career also faced a dramatic setback in the early 90s with the boxing Helena lawsuit. Initially attached to the dark, surreal film about obsession and control, she withdrew after reading a more detailed script that threatened to tarnish her carefully crafted image. The production company sued, claiming her exit cost them millions in jobs. The court ruled against Kim, ordering her to pay nearly $9 million in damages, a verdict that shocked Hollywood and led to her filing for bankruptcy in 1993. Once a sought-after star, Kim found herself blacklisted, her reliability questioned, and her career derailed. She stepped away from blockbusters, choosing smaller, independent films and voice work, quietly rebuilding her reputation away from the glare of fame. Behind the scenes, the making of 9.5 Weeks had left scars deeper than any lawsuit. Kim later revealed the emotional abuse she endured on set, where the director and co-star deliberately manipulated her to capture raw, authentic reactions. She was isolated from the cast, subjected to physical and psychological provocation, and left feeling lost and vulnerable. The experience haunted her for decades, a painful reminder of the industry's darker side. In the 2000s, Kim returned to the screen with roles that reflected her maturity and depth, portraying troubled mothers, complex women, and characters marked by quiet despair. But after 2010, her appearances became rare. She shifted focus to voice acting, writing children's books, and living a reclusive life with Mitch Stone, a celebrity hairstylist and her partner since 2014. Together they avoid the spotlight, choosing peace over publicity. Kim's legacy is not just one of beauty or fame but of resilience and dignity. She has used her platform to advocate for animal rights, championing causes like vegetarianism and fighting against the dog meat trade. Her quiet activism speaks volumes about a woman who has learned to live on her own terms, far from the Hollywood machine that once consumed her. Today, Kim Basinger is a figure of grace and strength, a woman who has weathered storms both public and private and emerged with a quiet wisdom. She no longer chases the spotlight but embraces the simple joys of life: family, love, and peace. Her story reminds us that true courage is not about never falling but about rising again, time and again, with honesty and heart. What do you think of Kim Basinger's journey? Has her story of triumph, pain, and quiet strength ever made you reflect on your own challenges? Let us know in the comments below. And if you want to hear more stories like this, don't forget to subscribe and join us for the next chapter of courage and resilience.